Hello, you guys. I am so excited to be here. So excited to share my story with you guys today. So, my name is Autumn Harris. I have been a partner with BODi since 2018, so 5 years now. And my journey, honestly, my journey with health and wellness that brought me right here to where I am today started back when I was a kid growing up. Okay. So, I grew up in a family with two working parents, okay? At one point in time, both my mom and my dad owned their own businesses, their own companies, and so they were amazing parents. But as a result of our lifestyle, our normal was not to sit down at 5 or 6 o'clock at night and eat dinner together, right? Our normal was for somebody to grab a bucket of KFC chicken on their way home, and then we would sit down and eat. So as a result of that, I did not grow up learning healthy habits with food, healthy habits with exercise. I didn't learn any of that. And so I can remember being in high school and I was not able to play competitive sports because I have a skin condition that causes really bad blistering on my hands and my feet. Okay. And so because of that, I couldn't do any kind of team sports that required a lot of really heavy physical activity. I remember being very envious of the dancers and the cheerleaders and the way that they looked, and always being like, gosh, I want to look like them. I want to be skinny like them. Okay. And I was always 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds heavier than what I should have been. All right. And so in high school, so that carried on, I got into college, and I can remember my first year of college, it's so normal to put on weight, right? So I put on an extra, like 10 or so pounds from where I had already been at that 10 to 20 pounds overweight. And I was feeling really horrible about myself, okay? And so that was the beginning of what I call my yo-yo diet years. I started doing every yo-yo crash diet there was out there. And you guys, I did that for a decade. I did that for 10 years. And when I'm talking yo-yo diets, crash diets, I'm talking about I would juice fruits and vegetables and drink only that for 2 weeks at a time, you guys. I was so desperate to lose weight and to be skinny that I was literally willing to do anything at all. And I thought that these diets were the way that you got skinny, because I can remember, you guys, growing up, my mom would, anytime she would want to lose weight, she would go on a diet. Right? And she would look at herself in the mirror and she would pinch like her fat and call herself fat. And she would talk about how she didn't look good in any of her clothes. And so you guys, those things were instilled in my brain. Okay. So I also, around the same time, I had heard that exercise helps you lose weight. So I started going to the gym, started to develop a really unhealthy relationship with the gym. Also with exercise, I was going to the gym. I was on the treadmill for hours a day, right? Like 2 hours a day. I would go and be on the elliptical, on the treadmill. And I honestly, you guys, every time I would be on a diet, as long as I stayed on that diet, I would see results, right? But as soon as I got off of it, because everything I was doing was incredibly restrictive and not sustainable, all of the weight would come piling back on. So you guys, in 2013, I started doing CrossFit, okay? I fell in love with CrossFit. I fell in love with it. I fell in love with being strong. It started to shift my mindset a little bit from, I don't really want to be skinny. I want to be strong. And it turns out I was very good at it. I could manage my skin condition with it, right? Could still do CrossFit along with my skin condition. And so I completely fell in love with it. But at the same time, I wasn't doing anything different with my nutrition. So that was like the missing piece of the puzzle. For me, I didn't know how to eat. So yes, I was going to CrossFit. Yes, I was enjoying the movement. Yes, I was enjoying the exercise. But I would go to CrossFit and then I would go home and I would eat a whole pizza at night for dinner. And I would feel awful about it. Like I would feel guilty. I would feel sick because of what I just ate. I was in a situation where I would stop at the gas station, get a bag of chips, eat the whole bag of chips, big bag on my way home, and then stop at the gas station, throw it away, and hide the evidence so nobody saw it. Okay. So I still had this really bad relationship with food. And so in 2015, you guys, I'm a veterinarian. I graduated veterinary school. I went to move to Montana. And when I moved to Montana, I met a gal who was a coach, macro coach there. And I started counting macros. And as much as I started to learn a little bit more about nutrition, about how I should eat, I started to feel really good physically because I was eating adequately. I was eating vegetables and things that were good for me, but I wasn't losing the weight that I wanted. I was seeing good results in the gym, like performance-wise, but there was still just something, you guys, that was missing. I wasn't happy. I was tired of counting everything all the time. I was tired of counting my calories. I was tired of figuring out what I needed to eat, like how to log my food when I went out to a restaurant to eat. Like I was just really sick of it. So a friend of mine, her husband and I went to veterinary school together. I saw her on social media one day, and you guys, back then I was rarely on social media, but I saw her on social media and she was talking about this new program that she was doing, this nutrition program, about how she didn't have to count anything. It had helped her lose weight. It had helped her have a 6-pack after having 4 babies. Maybe it was 3 babies at that time, but nonetheless, she looked good. She was super happy. She had multiple kids. She had a 6-pack. I wanted to look like her. I did. I was like, this is like what I want. Like I wanted this. I wanted that life that she had. So I reached out to her and she was like, yeah, let's get you set up with this program. I talked to her about what some of my struggles were at the time. And she was like, yeah, let's get you set up with this. You'll really love it. So she did. I got set up with this program, 2B Mindset. Along with that, it included Shakeology, the workouts. You guys, I will tell you, I'm going to wrap this up, but I will tell you, I was really skeptical about the workouts and about Shakeology because I had tried Shakeology in the past and I said that I didn't like it, but looking back, I didn't really give it a fair shot. And the workouts, I told Micah, my partner, I was like, I don't need the workouts. I do CrossFit. And she was like, well, I want you to just like give them a go. It all comes together in a package, et cetera, et cetera. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever. So you guys, I dove into the nutrition side of things to start with. Dove in and I fell in love. It was the thing that I had been missing this entire time. The program actually taught me how I should eat. It taught me that I was an emotional eater and that I needed to heal my relationship with food. But aside from that, I was brought into this community of people and I was welcomed with open arms. Me, this person who does CrossFit, I don't do at-home fitness workouts, like that hasn't ever been my jam, but this community of women opened their arms to me and they were like, well, I don't care what kind of workouts you do. Like, we want you to see success. And up until this point, I had always been like, I'm really self-motivated. I don't need a community of people. But when I saw this community, I was literally hooked. And I knew from that point forward, I needed to share this gift that we have to offer with the rest of the world, because I know I'm not the only one who's struggling with these things. And here I am 5 years later.